Chosen one, you did what America's security system said was impossible. You bypassed the highest level protections of the most powerful person in the country, leaving even top intelligence experts speechless. How did you cheat the unbreachable? How did you expose the flaws they thought no one could find? Your moves, your strategy, and your unmatched intelligence didn't just fail their system, they showed the world who is truly in control. What others called impossible, you achieved on your very first attempt in the history of this nation. Even their most elite experts cannot explain what you did, and now the very person whose security you outsmarted wants to meet you. You are being recognized as a once-in-a-generation mind, a chosen one rising to legendary status. Before we go further into your story, take a moment to do 3 things. Hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 60,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11. This simple action sends a powerful signal, amplifying the energy of this video and aligning you with the incredible shift that is already happening in your life. If you watch until the end, your understanding of what's possible and your own potential will never be the same. This event is not just a tale of breaking barriers. It is a wake-up call for an entire nation. It reveals that even the most impenetrable systems are vulnerable, and that blind faith in technology and authority can sometimes obscure truth. The Chosen One's actions highlight the fragility of structures we assume are invincible, reminding everyone that no challenge is truly insurmountable. It is a historic moment that forces people to reconsider what is possible and inspires a collective reflection on the limits of human and technological oversight. The significance extends beyond national security. It challenges how we approach problem-solving in every aspect of life. When the impossible is achieved, it reshapes perceptions, fuels ambition, and encourages daring exploration of uncharted territories. The Chosen One's success becomes a symbol of audacity, courage, and brilliance that resonates far beyond the immediate event. Finally, the importance lies in the psychological impact. Leaders, experts, and ordinary citizens alike are confronted with the notion that genius, intuition, and creativity can surpass even the most sophisticated systems. It is a reminder that human potential, when fully realized, can disrupt conventional expectations and redefine history. Witnessing this phenomenon firsthand was a transformative experience. I felt a mix of disbelief, awe, and exhilaration as I watched someone operate on a plane of intelligence that seemed almost otherworldly. Each action, each decision felt deliberate yet effortless, leaving an indelible mark on everyone observing. It was as if the laws of possibility had shifted in real time. Emotionally, it was overwhelming. There was a quiet tension in the room, followed by moments of stunned silence, and finally, an eruption of admiration and amazement. It became clear that this was not merely a demonstration of skill, but a defining moment in history. A testament to what a singular mind can accomplish against seemingly insurmountable odds. Reflecting on this, I realized that witnessing true mastery changes your perception of what is achievable. It ignites a spark of inspiration, compelling one to push boundaries in their own life. The Chosen One's feat was not only extraordinary in scale, but transformative in its ability to awaken hope, ambition, and belief in human potential. From the very first moment, it became clear that this was no ordinary act. What unfolded was a revelation that left the nation's top security teams scrambling for explanations. Every protocol that had been considered foolproof suddenly appeared fragile under the scrutiny of the Chosen One's precision. The breakthrough lay not just in the technical skill, but in the ingenuity behind each maneuver. This was a mind that could anticipate every safeguard, every countermeasure, with uncanny foresight. Intelligence experts, trained for decades, found themselves outmatched by a single, extraordinary intellect. It wasn't chaos, it was elegance. Every move was calculated, deliberate, and executed with a grace that spoke to a deep understanding of systems, human behavior, and timing. The impact was immediate, a breach that was not meant to happen, yet unfolded effortlessly, defying all predictions. The emotional shockwaves were palpable. Observers felt a mix of awe, fear, and admiration. This was a demonstration of mastery that blurred the line between genius and legend. The event didn't just break rules, it shattered assumptions and redefined the limits of possibility. Finally, the breakthrough sent a message to the entire world. Brilliance combined with courage can render even the most fortified systems vulnerable. It was a moment that would be studied, remembered, and mythologized for generations, marking the start of a new era. For years, this security system had been considered untouchable, the pinnacle of protection. Leaders and analysts alike trusted it implicitly, confident that nothing could penetrate its layers. The Chosen One's actions, however, exposed its vulnerabilities in a way that was both shocking and humbling. The exposure was a revelation not just technically, but psychologically. People had built their careers around the inviolability of these protocols, yet one mind had shown them to be far from infallible. The very foundations of confidence in national security were shaken, forcing experts to reassess long-held beliefs. Even more remarkable was how quietly the breach occurred. There was no loud fanfare, no chaos, just an almost invisible shift that revealed a flaw no one had anticipated. It demonstrated that brilliance does not always announce itself. Sometimes it acts subtly, yet its impact is devastating. The revelation sparked debates across the highest echelons of power. Officials, security chiefs, and intelligence analysts were forced to confront uncomfortable truths. Systems that seem unbreakable are only as strong as the assumptions that underpin them. Ultimately, the exposure of this system was a lesson for all institutions. Continuous vigilance, creativity, and humility are necessary. Even the strongest walls can fall when challenged by vision, intellect, and courage, proving that no security is truly absolute. The Chosen One did not merely circumvent protocols, they reimagined them. What was designed to protect became an obstacle to overcome, and every safeguard was met with a solution that seemed to anticipate its existence before it was even activated. This defiance was not reckless, it was precise and intentional. It was the product of years of learning, observing, and thinking in ways others could not fathom. Each move was a statement. Genius does not follow rules, it transcends them. The audacity of defying protocols left observers in awe. Analysts who had trained for decades were suddenly witnesses to a demonstration that no textbook or procedure could explain. It was a brilliant orchestration of intellect, intuition, and timing. Emotionally, this defiance inspired a sense of wonder. There was admiration for the courage to confront systems built by the brightest minds, and yet a tension as well, as one wondered what consequences might follow. But the impact was undeniable. History had been rewritten in an instant. The Chosen One's actions proved that extraordinary intelligence, when paired with determination and vision, can surpass the most sophisticated safeguards. This was a mind operating beyond ordinary comprehension, setting a new standard for ingenuity and daring. Experts who had dedicated their lives to mastering security protocols were suddenly without explanations. Their assumptions, strategies, and years of experience failed to account for the Chosen One's brilliance. Each analysis they attempted only highlighted the impossibility of the feat. Reports were drafted, theories proposed, but none could fully capture how a single individual had navigated, bypassed, and outsmarted the most advanced defenses. The absence of answers created an atmosphere of stunned silence. Meetings that were once routine turned into sessions of speculation, where seasoned analysts admitted, often reluctantly, that they had no clue how the breach occurred. Beyond professional embarrassment, there was a deep emotional impact. Ultimately, the inability to explain only heightened the Chosen One's mystique. When brilliance surpasses comprehension, it becomes legend, a symbol of human potential and the unpredictable power of a singular, extraordinary mind. The breach of the president's security was more than a technical failure. It was a psychological shockwave. The very notion that the most guarded individual in the country could be vulnerable created ripples across every level of governance and intelligence. It challenged assumptions that had stood unchallenged for decades. The Chosen One's approach was meticulous. Every layer of protection, every surveillance measure, every contingency plan seemed to fold before an intellect that anticipated, adapted, and moved with precision. It was as if the system itself was powerless against sheer ingenuity. Witnesses were left in awe as the breach unfolded quietly but completely. There was no chaos, no alarms blaring, just the silent unfolding of something extraordinary. It was a demonstration of skill that few could comprehend and even fewer could replicate. Emotionally, the impact was profound. Leaders who had grown confident in their invulnerability now faced a humbling truth. Brilliance can transcend barriers, even those designed to be impenetrable. It was a lesson in respect for intellect, courage, and creativity. Ultimately, this breach became symbolic. It showed that no amount of power, prestige, or technology can replace insight, vision, and the human capacity to challenge the impossible. History had witnessed a moment that would be remembered forever. The Chosen One's actions were marked not by noise or spectacle, but by subtlety. There was no drama, no alarms, no brute force, only an almost invisible mastery that quietly dismantled every safeguard. This silent entry magnified the shock when the results were revealed. Every system that had been considered secure faltered before the Chosen One's intellect. The precision of timing, the deep understanding of human and technological behavior, and the ability to anticipate every defensive measure made the feat seem effortless. The reaction among the security teams was a mixture of astonishment and disbelief. Observers felt their confidence crumble as they realized how little they truly understood about the limits of a mind capable of such foresight. It was a humbling, awe-inspiring experience. Emotionally, the silence amplified the tension. Each unnoticed step was a reminder that mastery does not always announce itself. Power often lies not in brute force, but in finesse, strategy, and the ability to see what others cannot. This silent entry became a metaphor for intelligence itself. True genius is often quiet, yet its effects are transformative. It reshapes systems, challenges assumptions, and leaves a permanent mark on those who witness it. The Chosen One's brilliance was not measured by speed or strength, but by foresight and imagination. Elite forces, trained for years to anticipate threats, found themselves outmaneuvered at every step. It was a display of intellect that redefined what human potential could achieve. Each action was deliberate, calculated, and almost artistic. The Chosen One understood the interplay between human psychology, technology, and logic, using it to navigate spaces that others could not even conceptualize. The security teams were forced into a position of helpless admiration. What they had assumed to be unassailable was undone by a mind that could think in ways no algorithm or training manual could predict. It was a humbling lesson in the power of human ingenuity. Beyond technical mastery, the Chosen One's approach was emotional intelligence at its peak. Anticipating reactions, reading behaviors, and understanding motivations allowed them to stay several steps ahead of those who thought themselves in control. Ultimately, this story is not just about surpassing elite forces. It is about the triumph of vision, creativity, and relentless intelligence over convention. It is a celebration of what one extraordinary mind can achieve against overwhelming odds. The Chosen One's actions were a revelation. Even the most powerful are not infallible. The very structures designed to protect and secure revealed cracks under the weight of an intellect willing to challenge assumptions. What seemed untouchable was now transparent. Each flaw uncovered was a testament to the importance of questioning authority and testing systems. The Chosen One showed that even trusted institutions can hide vulnerabilities that only vision and courage can reveal. The emotional resonance of this exposure was significant. It forced those in power to confront uncomfortable truths, while inspiring ordinary people to recognize that audacity, intelligence, and insight can level hierarchies. Witnesses felt a mixture of fear and admiration. The Chosen One's feat was the ultimate test for a nation's defenses. What had been designed to deter threats was met with a challenge no one imagined. It was a demonstration of skill that stretched the boundaries of human capability. The defenses themselves were formidable. Advanced technology, complex protocols, and layers of protection designed to anticipate every possible intrusion. Yet the Chosen One approached them not with recklessness, but with precise calculation and creativity. The emotional impact on the defenders was intense. Witnessing someone bypass years of preparation with seemingly effortless intellect created a mixture of awe, disbelief, and humility. It was a reminder that no system, no matter how sophisticated, is infallible. This challenge was also symbolic. It represented the eternal struggle between human innovation and institutional rigidity, showing that brilliance can find paths where rigidity assumes none exist. Ultimately, the Chosen One redefined what it means to confront and overcome challenges. This was a performance of intellect, courage, and vision that would resonate long after the event itself had passed. The mission was deemed impossible, a test that had never been successfully completed. The Chosen One achieved it not through force, but through insight, creativity, and foresight. This was a moment where imagination met reality in the most spectacular way. Every obstacle was turned into an opportunity. What seemed like barriers were actually puzzles waiting to be solved, and the Chosen One approached them with a calm, analytical, yet inspired mind. Observers were stunned, unable to reconcile what they had witnessed with their understanding of possibility. The impossible had been realized, and it was executed flawlessly, leaving everyone in awe. Emotionally, there was exhilaration, disbelief, and a profound sense of inspiration. The achievement proved that limitations are often constructs of perception, not reality, and that audacity paired with intellect can achieve the unimaginable. Ultimately, this success would be remembered as a defining moment, a demonstration that one extraordinary individual can rewrite history by daring to attempt what everyone else fears is impossible. Even the most seasoned analysts found themselves at a loss. Their expertise, built over decades, provided no answers. The Chosen One's method was beyond conventional analysis, defying logic and precedent. Reports and theories were drafted, revised, and debated, yet none could capture the full scope of the achievement. Each attempt at explanation only highlighted the extraordinary gap between ordinary understanding and the brilliance displayed. The emotional toll was significant. Analysts faced a mixture of frustration, awe, and professional humility as they realized they had witnessed something unprecedented, something beyond the scope of their expertise. This struggle to explain elevated the Chosen One's status to legendary. When mastery surpasses comprehension, it becomes not only impressive but almost mythic, leaving an indelible mark on all who witness it. Ultimately, the inability to explain the feat reinforced its significance. The Chosen One was not just successful, they had transcended understanding, becoming a symbol of human potential and intellectual mastery. What unfolded forced the highest levels of power to take notice. The Chosen One became impossible to ignore, a presence that challenged established authority and demanded recognition. Leaders and decision-makers realized that brilliance operates on its own terms, and that true talent cannot be contained by protocol, hierarchy, or expectation. A new force had emerged, one that commanded respect by virtue of its ability alone. Emotionally, this was both unsettling and inspiring. It challenged egos, redefined power dynamics, and forced those in authority to confront the reality that extraordinary individuals can shift the balance in profound ways. The acknowledgement was not mere politeness, it was recognition of something transformative. The Chosen One had altered perceptions of possibility, authority, and mastery, leaving an indelible impression on the nation's leadership. Ultimately, this recognition was historic. It was the moment a new kind of legend entered the collective consciousness, one that demanded not obedience, but respect for intelligence, creativity, and courage. Every move demonstrated foresight that seemed impossible. The Chosen One anticipated every countermeasure, every reaction, and every contingency with a precision that was almost preternatural. This strategy was not brute force. It was elegant, deliberate, and highly adaptive. It demonstrated a level of planning and intuition that surpassed conventional understanding, making it clear that this was not just skill, it was genius. Observers were left questioning the limits of human cognition. How could one mind foresee so many variables and respond flawlessly? They had proven that mastery is not only measured by results, but by the elegance and foresight with which challenges are navigated, leaving an enduring legacy of intellect and ingenuity. The impact of the Chosen One's achievement reverberated across the nation. Headlines, discussions, and debates spread rapidly, capturing the imagination of citizens and leaders alike. It was a shockwave that transformed admiration into recognition at the highest level. The president, along with top officials, extended an invitation to meet this extraordinary individual. This gesture was not ceremonial. It was an acknowledgement of brilliance that had fundamentally altered the landscape of security and intelligence. Emotionally, the invitation carried weight. It symbolized respect, curiosity, and the recognition that true talent cannot be ignored, no matter how unconventional or challenging it may be. For the nation, the event became a symbol of possibility. It showed that extraordinary minds can rise above expectation, inspire awe, and command attention not through power or position, but through mastery and vision. Ultimately, the invitation marked a turning point, a moment when history paused to honor intelligence, courage, and audacity, and a nation recognized that it was witnessing a legend in the making. The chosen one emerged not only as a master of skill, but as a symbol of human potential. Their actions inspired admiration, respect, and wonder across the country and beyond. It was clear that history had been rewritten by one extraordinary mind. Legends are born from acts that transcend comprehension, and this was one such moment. The chosen one's mastery became a benchmark for intelligence, creativity, and audacity, setting a standard that few could ever hope to reach. Emotionally, people felt a mixture of awe, inspiration, and humility. To witness someone operating at this level was to confront the limitless possibilities of the human mind and the extraordinary achievements it can produce. The rise of this figure challenged assumptions about power, expertise, and what is achievable. It was a reminder that vision, courage, and intellect can disrupt established norms and create new pathways for greatness. Ultimately, the chosen one became more than a person. They became a symbol, a living testament to genius, determination, and the remarkable heights a single individual can reach, leaving a legacy that will inspire generations to come. Human potential is limitless when intellect and opportunity intersect. The chosen one demonstrates that extraordinary results are not solely the product of knowledge, but also of timing, vision, and courage. By seizing the right moment, barriers once deemed insurmountable suddenly vanish. Every obstacle can be transformed into a stepping stone when approached creatively. The lesson is simple yet profound. Challenges are invitations, not roadblocks. Those who dare to reimagine the impossible often achieve outcomes that astonish even seasoned experts. The chosen one's journey is a testament to preparation meeting audacity. Years of learning, observation, and experimentation culminated in an action that redefined what was considered possible. It illustrates the value of relentless self-improvement and strategic thinking. Emotionally, witnessing this reveals the excitement of human potential. It is a mixture of awe, inspiration, and a subtle fear, because when someone achieves what you thought impossible, it forces you to reevaluate your own limits. Ultimately, the story teaches us that genius is not static. It thrives on opportunity. To maximize our potential, we must recognize moments where insight, preparation, and courage converge, ready to push beyond conventional boundaries. True mastery often comes from noticing what others overlook. The chosen one exemplified the value of perception, identifying hidden patterns and subtle flaws in systems deemed infallible. This skill is more valuable than brute strength or sheer speed. By observing carefully and deeply, one can uncover insights invisible to those who skim the surface. The lesson is clear. Attention to detail and awareness of context can yield transformative advantages in any field. It also illustrates patience and discipline. Observation requires slowing down, resisting assumptions, and analyzing without bias. The chosen one's success came from hours of focused mental preparation, highlighting that careful attention often precedes breakthrough results. Emotionally, the story inspires humility. It reminds us that no matter how powerful or prepared we feel, overlooking small details can lead to significant vulnerabilities. And conversely, seeing what others miss can create incredible opportunities. The key takeaway: learning to perceive the unseen is a superpower. In everyday life, this skill allows us to anticipate challenges, innovate solutions, and excel where others fail to notice critical details. By bending, reinterpreting, or innovating beyond guidelines, one can unlock potential others assume is impossible. The lesson here is that rules are not prisons. They are starting points. Using creativity responsibly allows individuals to amplify their impact while minimizing risk. The chosen one's mastery exemplifies how imaginative thinking can act as a multiplier of skill and intelligence. Emotionally, this motivates us to embrace curiosity and courage. Fear of breaking norms often holds people back, but when approached thoughtfully, stepping beyond conventional limits can lead to unprecedented accomplishments. Ultimately, the story emphasizes that creativity is a powerful tool for leadership, problem-solving, and personal growth. Those who cultivate the ability to think differently create pathways where none existed before. One of the most compelling lessons is the chosen one's resilience. When faced with systems designed to deter even the boldest minds, they persisted with unwavering determination, demonstrating that perseverance can overcome formidable challenges. Obstacles are inevitable in any pursuit of excellence. The story shows that resilience is not merely enduring difficulty, it is the ability to adapt, iterate, and maintain focus despite setbacks or overwhelming odds. Resilience also builds confidence. By repeatedly confronting challenges, the chosen one cultivated a mindset where fear of failure was replaced by curiosity, courage, and strategic problem-solving. This is a universal lesson. Consistent perseverance develops both skill and mental fortitude. Emotionally, the narrative inspires strength. Witnessing someone overcome barriers that appear insurmountable evokes admiration and hope, reminding us that with grit and patience, even the most daunting challenges can be approached successfully. Ultimately, resilience is a multiplier for achievement. It teaches us that persistence, adaptability, and mental toughness are essential components of transforming ambition into reality. Observation alone is not enough. Insight is the transformation of perception into actionable knowledge. The chosen one turned subtle patterns into strategies that completely altered the outcome of what others assumed was impossible. The lesson is clear. Careful analysis of the environment, people, and systems allows one to anticipate outcomes and act decisively. Insight is what converts information into power, and mastery is the ability to act upon it effectively. It also emphasizes foresight and planning. Seeing beyond the obvious allows individuals to act proactively rather than reactively, gaining advantages in situations where preparation and timing are everything. Emotionally, insight generates confidence. Knowing that you understand your environment and can anticipate moves brings calm and decisiveness even under pressure. Observers felt this indirectly through the chosen one's composed execution. The takeaway is that turning observation into insight is a skill everyone can develop. By paying attention, reflecting deeply, and connecting the dots, one can make informed, innovative decisions that outpace others. Success often depends on anticipating not only obstacles, but reactions, behaviors, and consequences. The chosen one's brilliance lay in predicting moves before they were made, a skill that gave them a decisive advantage. Anticipation is more than guessing, it is understanding underlying principles, patterns, and human tendencies. The lesson? Predicting outcomes allows individuals to act proactively and strategically rather than reactively. In practice, anticipation requires observation, analysis, and creativity. The chosen one modeled the integration of logic and intuition, demonstrating how foresight can multiply effectiveness and minimize risk. Emotionally, anticipation inspires awe. Watching someone operate ahead of time evokes the sense that they are almost in another temporal plane, acting before events fully unfold, which motivates us to sharpen our predictive thinking. Ultimately, mastering anticipation is a superpower for leadership, problem-solving, and decision-making. It transforms challenges into opportunities and ensures that actions are both timely and impactful. Extraordinary accomplishments often require challenging the status quo. The chosen one exemplified courage, taking calculated risks to question systems deemed untouchable. This lesson resonates universally. Authority is not infallible. Courage is not reckless defiance, it is informed risk-taking guided by skill, analysis, and vision. By challenging norms responsibly, one can achieve breakthroughs that conventional thinking cannot. This principle applies to personal and professional life. Questioning assumptions and respectfully challenging established systems encourages innovation and prevents stagnation. The chosen one's example highlights how courage catalyzes change. Emotionally, this inspires empowerment. Chosen One demonstrated that with focus, courage, and insight, these boundaries can be tested and expanded, opening doors no one imagined existed. This achievement also highlights the importance of deep preparation. It wasn't luck or chance, it was years of careful observation, learning, and mental rehearsal. Every move was deliberate, informed by an understanding of both systems and human behavior that few could match. Emotionally, witnessing such mastery is electrifying. It inspires a sense of wonder, forcing us to reflect on our own assumptions about what is possible. The Chosen One's accomplishment is not just a personal triumph, it is a clarion call for all of us to reassess our own potential. Ultimately, the story teaches that human potential is boundless when vision, intelligence, and courage converge. Extraordinary achievements are not confined by circumstance. They are defined by the mindset and daring of the individual. Insight is only powerful when paired with action. The Chosen One exemplified how deep understanding of complex systems can be transformed into decisive, effective strategies that produce tangible results. The lesson is that knowledge alone is insufficient. Strategy converts awareness into influence. Recognizing patterns, anticipating reactions, and predicting outcomes are only useful when integrated into a concrete plan of action, as the Chosen One did flawlessly. This principle also demonstrates adaptability. Plans are never rigid, they evolve in response to changing circumstances. The Chosen One's strategies were not static scripts, but dynamic approaches, adjusted in real time with precision and foresight. Emotionally, this evokes admiration and motivation. Observers are reminded that intelligence paired with action is transformative, and that thoughtful execution is what separates brilliance from ordinary achievement. Ultimately, turning insight into action teaches that extraordinary results are the product of both understanding and courage to implement that understanding. It is the bridge between thought and reality, potential and accomplishment. Pressure often reveals the truth about character and capability. The Chosen One thrived under conditions that would overwhelm most, demonstrating that courage combined with creativity produces solutions that others cannot imagine. The lesson is that stress and uncertainty are not barriers. They are catalysts for innovation. The Chosen One approached every challenge as an opportunity to think differently, to innovate beyond the obvious, and to execute under intense scrutiny. This mindset requires confidence tempered with humility. True courage is not recklessness, it is calculated risk-taking based on preparation, knowledge, and insight. Every move the Chosen One made was carefully weighed, showing that bravery is most powerful when guided by intellect. Emotionally, this inspires resilience and boldness. Watching someone perform flawlessly under pressure encourages us to see obstacles as opportunities, teaching that fear can be transformed into fuel for achievement. Ultimately, the lesson is that pressure is a proving ground. Innovation and courage are magnified in high-stakes environments, and those who can harness both leave a lasting impact that reshapes expectations and inspires others. Conclusion: the journey of the Chosen One teaches us that limits are often illusions, challenges are opportunities, and extraordinary results come from vision, intelligence, and courage. Every obstacle overcome, every system outsmarted, and every unexpected breakthrough reminds us that human potential is boundless when preparation meets audacity. The story is a testament not just to genius, but to resilience, strategy, and the power of one determined mind to inspire a nation and redefine possibility. As we reflect on this story, let it serve as a reminder that greatness is within reach for anyone willing to think boldly, act decisively, and persevere relentlessly. Each of us has the ability to turn obstacles into opportunities, to see what others cannot, and to create our own legacy. Let the Chosen One's example ignite your ambition, fuel your courage, and inspire you to achieve what once seemed impossible.